This topic is going to be looking at how can materials change. And there are two main ways that materials can change. One of them is through physical changes, which we'll look at in this video, and the other way is through chemical changes. And that will come in later videos. So firstly, physical changes. These are things that are really common and simple ways of changing a material. And the key with a physical change is that the material stays the same material at the end of the change. So materials can change physically, so what they look like or what they feel like, but they stay the same material in the end. And that's the key. Stay the same material. So here's an example of a physical change with glass. Glass is made up of lots of particles here, and it's a lattice compound, which we've learnt about before. And when you have one big piece of glass, it's just one continuous lattice. Lots and lots of atoms joined together throughout the whole piece of glass. But if we come along and smash up that glass and grind it into tiny pieces, then we can get left with glass powder here, which is really close to sand almost. And what we've done there is we've taken the big lattice that we started with and we've broken it up into small pieces that are still made of atoms, and they're still made of the same glass atoms themselves, the same glass molecules. All we've done is broken up the pieces. Now that we've looked at different physical changes, we're going to look at the other type of change that can happen to materials, and these are chemical changes. When we look at chemical changes, these are changes that actually make new chemicals during the change. So a new chemical or a new material is made. So here are a few really common chemical changes that you would have seen before. And actually, chemical changes are important for pretty much all the processes we do as part of our everyday life and inside of our bodies too. There's constantly millions and millions of different chemical reactions going on inside our bodies. So let's look at the first one here. We've got cooking an egg. So any type of cooking, this is a chemical change, and we can see a really obvious sign of a chemical change is when the egg whites go from a clear colour and they turn white, and that's a sign that they've cooked. So we've actually changed the chemicals that are in the egg whites there. Another one is if you keep cooking something and then cook it too far, or if it catches on fire, then that's called burning. So the marshmallows here have been burnt, and the fire in the background is also burning. So whenever something burns, that means the chemicals that we started with, they've been changed into something new. And another chemical change is rusting. So the nice original metal on this Mustang, it was a shiny silver colour, but now we can see it's rusted. So there's been a new chemical, there's been a chemical change in that metal to turn into a different chemical. And that looks like a few $1,000s to repair that car from all that rust. So the last thing in this introduction is to look at another word for chemical changes. So whenever these changes happen, we also call them chemical reactions. So chemical changes are called reactions. And that's pretty much what chemistry is the study of. How chemicals react with each other and how they change.